Hello, and welcome to Will Forge. I'm your host, William. And today we will forge. We are currently working still on Waterworks. We're a ways into it. We're almost done actually. There's a lot done. There's still a lot to do. Obviously I got to finish this. We're gonna copy that over there, and I got to finish up this hole here. I got to finish up the roof. Copy it over there. Doesn't sound like a lot of stuff. It's almost like three things. But yeah, we've got the base mostly done. I did finish most of the stalagmite, formation that built over that dripped over the base. Um, and it looks pretty good, I think. And of course, we got to get the part that goes up in the ceiling, but I kind of want to build that as I build the ceiling, if possible. I don't know. Maybe I should put something down just to sort of center it. Let's see. We've got what do you call it? Blender down here, and this roof is very close to the ground in this area by comparison to the rest of the map. Like over there, it gets really high above the bridges on the sides of the map, but in this area it gets very low, and we are almost to the point where it would pretty much start wrapping up over the back and down into the back wall of the base. You can kind of see that in the corner there. Yeah, so let's see. I do need to switch over to, for my own view, over to the place where I can see chat. There we go. Now, I usually start like an hour earlier, maybe even 2 hours earlier, but last night was not good for my sleep. We have a new baby in the house, so it was just rough. Okay, so I think there's a curved sort of rock that I used up here a lot. It's this one. I want to get that one again, so let's find out what that one is, because that one's a good one for those curved, these parts that sort of, yeah, naturally curve into one another. Biomes, not bushes, rocks, alpine. Let's see, which one is it though? Might have to go find a way to pull that one out of that prefab. Well, I mean, I know how to, but actually, wait, what's this? Is this curved? No, it's flat. Darn. Oh well. Let's see what else we can find. I know there's a curved one somewhere. Is it this one? Is this the curved one? No. It's just, that one's curved on one end like a dome, but we want like a sort of, oh, maybe, oh, that's not what I want to do. Actually, I do want to do that real quick. I do want to hold that down, build out, because the lights, these lights sort of fall through the ground vertically whenever you reload a map up. And since I have closed this map and reloaded it, these lights, by the way, this one here, which looks horrible because it makes all of this area look poorly lit and terrible. And there's one other one. Must be down lower. There it is. This one. They're my working lights. I'm not actually gonna leave those there. Also not leaving this here. That was part of trying to work out how to make that thing move, and I'm waiting on Clint to come in and eventually come in with his script. Still haven't gotten that yet. If you've heard anything from him, I do need to message him or something and see if, because I was out for so many days, weeks even, that there's a good chance that he already figured out how to do that. He already wrote his script. Okay, so this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna de-prefab that. I think it's that one. That one looks even more like it, so let me just do that. Now, duplicate this. Is this the curved one? It is sort of curved. Yeah, that's the one that becomes curved. There's something about the way I stretch it that makes it become curved. Exactly. Yeah, this one kind of has a curvature to it, which makes it just curved enough to make good sort of rounded grooves. out of rocks, you know. So it's a really good piece. It's very important. Let me look at it's okay. So it's chunk B. Was that the one that actually? That was the one that I said looked kind of domed. It wasn't quite it because it was just kind of domed. But yeah, if you stretch it a specific way, it gets this sort of inner curve here, and it's not perfect. It's the only sort of actually curved piece for you know, for rocks though. So you kind of have to be, can't be too picky with it. You gotta let it do its thing basically. Okay, so we've got a rock that's sort of low here and then it sort of slopes up and it's higher on this side. Like it slopes up and it's higher on this side, so we're gonna put that there. We're gonna turn it around, I think. So I think this is sort of a chunky side. Maybe not. It's not the best option. Which it does sort of. They're pretty good, but it doesn't. I think this might be too low. Because we've got the part that slopes up, and then we need the part that goes sort of vertical. So we do need to go a little bit taller with our cylinder pieces. We need another piece, probably. I believe this is where, yeah, it starts to come back out. You need to continue that. And make it very tall. Oop, let's go to object. There we go. Alright. Nice little column there. Of stone. You can scale it, rotate it, sort of feel right. This might not be the best piece because it does appear to be getting thinner as it goes up. I knew that was going to be the case, but I just didn't think about it. Okay, let's see. Okay, so this looks like though we are getting the right height. So need to rotate it back this way so that we can go up. Alright. I've realized that this lip here was generated as part of like a really big piece. And either I need to get rid of it, which I might just do, or I need to hide it in my 1-to-1 version, and then I can re-reveal it in my final version, because this would be a fine place to be able to grapple hook up to. So I don't mind leaving this in here, although that being said, I might want to move it to the other side. If I could shift it over to this side, or make it slightly less useful here, and make it sort of be able to lead into, like if you wanted to grapple a hook up from there onto there, right? And then you could grapple hook around to a more useful spot on this side. The cool thing about that would be it would create some very slight forward movement of the players. And from over here, you get a great vantage point over there, but you might be more open. Anyway, well, we'll talk about that whenever I'm doing my not 1-to-1 version a little more. We'll discuss it, figure it out, and work out what I want to do with it. It was an accident. It was a happy little accident, I say. But I like it. This is also creating one right up there, right now, which could be, man, it's dark over there with the lights turning off like that. Huh. Interesting. Oh, I need to adjust that if I'm going to have this. But also, you know, banshees flying around. I'm going to have more trouble. I might need to adjust whenever the light distance on those. But yeah, man, I usually start this stream going way sooner, and I usually already have viewers in here. more than one, but I've got one viewer in right now, so that's good. Let's see. So I appreciate you. Let's see. Could be one of my regulars. I don't know. Just because no one's talked in chat yet. Here we go. Okay, now we got that. And then that's going to be the start of our curve. And then we're going to, let's flip it back over like we were doing, like we had it originally. Because I did like the way that the, okay, come on now. And this, we're going to go back to world. Here we go. That'll make that a lot easier. And this would go higher because the one on the left, the one on this side rather, is raised up a great deal. And also they both need to kind of come out because this is coming out the back of it. There we go. Go. Let's rotate this a little bit straight again. And that should create, this one is supposed to get like basically horizontal. This one's supposed to be more still vertical afterward. So whenever this one comes out, it goes into another one that just really wraps it into a nearly horizontal shape. This. Right? And there we go. Then this one though keeps it up with this more vertical shape. It's rebuilding map exactly as in the game, in the original game. Go. So what I might do is turn this one over. Like, actually, I'm just going to delete it and copy this one. Don't have to worry about rotations, because that was quicker. Definitely quicker. Whatever's faster is the one you want to is what you want to go with. Don't have to worry about, you know, doubling up on work. There we go. That way. No, it's getting a little too horizontal. Just need to go inside there, which is what I just moved out of. But okay, here we go. So that's how we're going to get that double loop there that you can see. You can kind of see the shadow up underneath there where one side is going, and then there's another side a little higher up. We're going to go off that. We're going to go again. This one I'm going to probably scale to attempt to make it, but it might end up just being bigger because it does get bigger as it goes into the wall. Now I don't think I'm all the way to the wall yet, so I don't think I don't want to curve down yet. Just yet. Well, maybe I do. Actually, yeah, this should curve up and it'll curve like a dome into this. Yeah, okay. And then we would have one more. But let me make sure it looks good on the sides. Get a little bigger. So you guys probably saw the news, and that's probably why I got very few viewers right now. I'm sure you guys saw the news about 343. And the situation over there. So I don't, first off, I went and posted, you know, my post about it. It's just talking about, you know, obviously we should, first of all, thank the devs who have been involved in it for their work in attempting to make the game as good as it can be. And, you know, all that stuff. Because they're leaving right now. They're not probably happy about leaving. And, you know, I can't imagine that would be very pleasant to have a community that just, like, spends the entire time complaining about what this means for the state of the game. you know? Because it's not, you know, because people lost their jobs. This, so it's not really all that, you know, you gotta read the room. The room is people have lost their jobs. It's not, and you gotta thank them. So I did that, and I'm worrying about the game secondarily. I don't think that this is going to be the end of Halo in the slightest. There's also been devs talking about it, being that have tried to, that came into somebody's actual Twitch chat, and we're like, yeah, I don't think this is the end. This is not the end. Like people at 343 were saying that. We're trying to explain that was the news is big and dire, but it's not like it's not actually the end in the slightest. Still working on it. There's just like a 500 people, 60 of them left. That's not going to be the end of the world. That's not going to be the end of Halo. That's not going to be the end of Infinite. This is terrible news, but it's not like that. But what it is a time to thank those people who are being laid off, and to tell them you appreciate their work as they go. And I do. So, yeah. I am gonna actually use this and flip it around and up. Put it into here. Because normally it would have that weird bulge on the back, but that's not a problem here because it actually goes into that slope. And then it creates a good sort of scales in all directions. Right way. Bulge is too much to go there. We can go here. That'll go up. It creates that other slope from the other side up into the ceiling. Let's do that. And expand this a little bit taller, a bit higher. Make it go into there. There we go. It was art people though. The one thing that was that's kind of alarming about it is that it was art team. I don't know, is what I hear. It was campaign and art team. And I'm like, that had left. So I'm like, okay, so if it's campaign and art team, then that's a little concerning because that could be our, you know, well, obviously we're not getting campaign. That was already leaked a while ago by B, I believe, on Twitter. B was like, yeah, no, guys, there's, I think it was B. It might have been somebody else. Somebody was saying that there are no plan. They quoted their inside contact as saying there are no current plans to make any campaign DLC, and that was, you know, disappointing at the time. It's also like, you know, also not the end of the world. Because they're giving us the ability to make our own campaigns in Forge. And with, you know, campaign AI being able to be added to the game for various game modes, as well as for if you want to make a campaign experience. That is what I want to do eventually. This is all me getting started with this. Okay, so we've got this going on. Alright. Save. This looks good so far. Now, I think this is actually burying part of my slope. It's intended to do that. Yeah, there it is. There's my slope. So actually I can't leave that there. I've got to rotate it and use it a different way. As much as I thought that was a pretty cool little shape there for my later version of the map, it's not going to work for the final version, or for the initial 1-to-1 version at all. And I need to work it out. Alright, so that's gonna make a bit of an odd shape. I think that I need to put that back in. That was actually important for down there. What I need to do is copy it. Get, that's all, switch to, no, not that. What am I doing here? There it is. Okay, object rotation. For some reason, I just suddenly forgot how to switch the object rotation. That was really weird. Just out of the blue, forgot which button changes the rotation type, and you know, well, any of the tools types, the actual manipulation type. There we go. Now we've got that correct little slope up there. And it goes into our vertical column. The more vertical column goes up into this rippy area. Then that is going to look nice. There we go. Okay, so here we go. So we've got this going on. Now I don't want to build up this back wall just yet because I have these little lights to ruin my lighting. So it wouldn't be the end of the world if I did. But I do typically rely a little bit on the sunlight, which I moved way over there so that I could see some of this ledge. But I am going to move that back now. It was way over to like 215, 220, something like that. Oh, maybe higher. It was originally like over there, shining into the cave this way, which kind of lights it up a little bit. So it doesn't too much anymore though, because this dark area is just being, you know, cast a shadow on. Still need to adjust the cave there and fill in that hole because that was a copy from this side, which had a different shape. But over here we have this going on. We need to build up this wall. And to be honest, I'm going to very quickly duplicate this wall and move it up and make that the next row, and then adjust them because there's no reason not to. I'm going to end up using pretty much the same piece, but I'm going to do some rotations and stuff like that. Where are my replacements? Okay, what's going on here? Behind me? Or are they underneath the entire map? Oh, here they are. Put them off to the side. Strange copy.
Chalk up another one for the big green.
Nice. New follower. So let's see. Thank you for the follow. Let's see. Okay, so obviously I'm going to rotate these to make sure that it doesn't look like repeating patterns, and I've got to properly adjust them all. But this is looking pretty good. Making rounded caves from a flat piece of. I want it all to flow. There's like a direction the texture flows. If I do it this way, it looks like it was like scratched into the wall. You know, you could easily do something like this and intentionally put an area of cave sideways like this and make it look like a ship crashed and scratched the wall in this direction. But typically rocks form by, you know, like there's a cave, form by dripping, and this feels more like there's vertical movement to form this cave, this wall. And so you gotta kind of angle it and place it so that it really looks good. And let's see, I want to do. We also want to make it to where it needs to hide the seam. I actually have a pretty sharp transition here, it looks like. where that's much farther back than this, and I might need to rotate that a little bit to make it not look like this, because that little lip there is something you could theoretically land on and stand on. There we go. I'm actually going to widen this one so that it clips into it farther, and that should actually fix my problems much easier than what I was doing before. That also breaks up the pattern, makes it less like this block above that block, this block above, you know what I mean? It's a little bit more, you know. And because it's clipping into half of this thing, I can actually not rotate this one and let that interrupt its shapes and end up sort of merging with those shapes. And then I can go to the next one and flip it around this way. That way, have some really good shapes here, and it'll look really nice in the end. Okay, here we go. I might actually start making them more vertical, but I do want the lower stuff is like smaller scale, and the larger stuff I scaled up, or the higher stuff I scaled up. So like down here, these are like one size, and those are not quite double. I would say, you know, another third. You're supposed to work in thirds in art, according to most people. It's the best way to do is like thirds and thirds. Or the 3/3 rule is I think what it's called. Look that up. If you're interested in learning what I'm talking about. But like this isn't really that, but it does actually apply. It does actually sort of fit into that way. Go. By scaling, of course, it's going to change it, but also like that line right there that I don't know if you can see what I'm lining up. This one right here, that starts as that piece and ends as this piece, and that's going to be a shape that's not repeated anywhere else because it's a brand new version of the angles, of the repeated angles that I've just created. So it's gonna come out look much nicer. Let's see. By using strategic placements, just created an extra angle. Now this is one where I think I'm going to stretch it again, like the one next to it, because this piece underneath it is kind of melding into it a little bit strangely. Doing it again, where that ledge there sort of lines up like a curve going that way. And then this one, looks like I have an extra piece there that I probably won't even need. I'm probably just going to delete it. Keep the budget low. So we're now at 71%. We were... Wait, is this the one I just positioned? No, it's not. Good. Okay, we were at 69 yesterday. Start of yesterday. But now we're looking at more of a... now we're looking at 71, and I still need to copy this section over to the other side. So everything I do over here is actually double the consumption. But yeah, let's see. Joe Mayo. It's the one who had followed me a minute ago. Let's see. That looks good. Okay, cool. Pretty good. Okay, so we're getting into... This is starting to slope up, like come back in. This is still sort of more like a flat surface. The next part's going to curve in over here, and it's going to come into this curve here. This curve is about to feed into a very steep curve here, obviously. While starting to become not a steep curve, just inverted. But yeah, anyway. So that's the next bit would be if I could copy this and rotate it. I'm just going to do that first. Put it there. And then going to scale and adjust and everything like that. So obviously, well, you know, this one kind of just goes into the curvature of the actual roof. So I might just leave that. I might not put this one here. Well, no, I am going to want it to feel more natural. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it in here like this, and I'm going to rotate it into the next piece over. This. And we're going to get ourselves, let's get to the world. Rotate this way. Then adjust it out. That's going to create a nice, you know, area to meld into as it gets like thinner there, you see? And then this one is going to also rotate a bit that direction, but it's going to actually go like there. I believe this one can come all the way up. Oh wait, it's this piece. Okay. I think this one just needs to scale up like the other one that's scaled. Then be put just like that. That should build out my arch very nicely. I think this one is actually fading too far into my upward angle. It needs to be more like that. So that piece needs to actually be prevalent enough. Maybe I did turn it a little too far that way to come back out. There we go. Now it's a little bit in, not quite. It's a cool little, let's see, this, get, right now it's got that crevice right there, and that doesn't look good. Angles were not quite, it does need to come this way, but what it needs to do is come that way in a certain angle, and this needs to come out, like I was saying. So the angle I put this into is not a good one, but just adjust things. So it looks cool, very natural, and also kind of like if a banshee's coming this way, it's going to be cool because it's going to funnel you into a tighter path. Because if you're going this way, you're sort of getting opened up. It'll be very interesting to use this as cover also if you're in like a wasp, and you come down and there's a tank over there, you can like raise up to hide. Wait until the like a scorpion, for example, can only fire so often, and yeah, be able to sort of make use of that knowledge. And where did this go? There it is. It looks like tree bark from the outside, or something. Like a Pikmin level. That's what it feels like to me from the outside. Something you'd see in Pikmin. Here we go. That one's gonna scale up entirely so that I can put it into there. Okay, we're gonna go to object rotation. Get good slope. Good proper slope. This one's gonna go into here. It's gonna be this, and we're gonna actually turn it around real quick. So on this side, which is gonna look a little bit better. We're gonna scale, no, just on red. There we go. I want that x-axis scale, not a y-axis. There we go. See that curvature of that corner of this piece? It makes it to where it melts into that piece a little smoother, a little nicer. We can, there we go. Alrighty. Can start making this one a little taller. So we are going to build this out before we build the ground, because we've got that horrible light that ruins the good lighting. Okay, we want that seam right there to be reduced. That's what we're going to do. So I'm going to try and focus on right now, make this a lot wider. That's definitely a repeated pattern. You can kind of see it there. This is going to be one of those cases where either I need to rotate it, flip it upside down, but you don't see the repeated pattern, or I need to, you know, flip it around front to back. And I'm definitely doing this one upside down. Expand this out a little more. Scaling is going to help hide those repeated patterns as well. There we go. Now, this one is probably going to have to go a little bit taller. That seam transition a little. But also, after not being under such harsh light as this is like blowing a, you know, putting a flashlight on it. Whenever you're down here, it won't be quite so visible. I still might need to make some adjustments to the cave to make it look a little more realistic. But it's going to be very dark compared to this. This is all... It is very, very badly lit. The dynamic lighting is going to make this look way nicer. That's what I'm trying to say. Let's see, here we go. Let's see. I do want to see the other side of this. See how it transitions. Okay, so it's sort of like... Yeah, it doesn't have any kind of major protrusions over here. And instead, it actually has... I'm just... Whoa. There. Okay, so... There we go. Alright, we're gonna go... That looks good. The way that seam looks, yeah, we'll go into this. And we're going to make this a little taller. Because we had those, that we sort of created new ledges and stuff, new lips, new ledges, stuff like that down there. This area is able to be a little bit more repeating. I'm going to turn this one around. And connect it to there, because that piece doesn't need to be protruding significantly as before. And we're going to scale this up even more. Just make this one huge, basically. Have it mostly be clipped into the walls, so that we get a good seam. There we go. Definitely looks pretty good. Definitely looks good. Okay, so we're getting our cave built out. Can't wait to get rid of this harsh light. I just really need to... Maybe that's what I need to do for my own sanity. Finish the ground down here at this point. You know, if I could finish this ground, then I can kind of turn off this light. And just go off this one, which would be less harsh like that. Making this seems look terrible. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and we're going to switch here. And the ground out here is all protruding. Let's see. Will this hill work out if I make it like super long and just sort of angle it and put it into the wall? I think it will. It'll work out just fine. You know what I need to do? I think I need to make this one way shorter. Oh, you know what? This might be poking out. Side. Okay, good. My slope over there is low. Slow. Like sort of slow enough. Like it slopes down gradually enough that shouldn't be. That doesn't appear to be. I might need to figure out something to smooth this sort of transition here over a little more, which, yeah, because this is going to, this is supposed to actually slope over farther. So let's see if it works without clipping it into the rest of the environment. Oh, you know what? I think I can slope it more like this. Or something. Okay, so it's supposed to come around and then there will be another one. Where is it? It's duplicated over here. This one will be over here. Have it different angle. To have it sort of slope down toward the base. It's kind of difficult to angle these in a way that makes them transition smoothly, but that's just part of the challenge of the terrain part. The terrain is probably the weakest part of Forge, I think. If there was some way of doing more like Warcraft 3 terrain editing, or maybe, I don't know, more like the Elder Scrolls enhancement suite, then I think that would probably be best. Because that's like, there's ground in your map. You know, like you click on, you have some terrain and you sort of scale it up, scale it down, and like move it around. Let's see. Okay, so this is actually sloping pretty nicely down into the correct height so that I can come up with a different piece, which is good. Although that different piece is probably going to be another one of these, except with the height ranked up. It's got a hill back here with some stalagmites on it. It needs to come up from the door, not from down there, so. And later, I'm going to delete one of these pieces. This one or that one, whatever. And I'm going to make a doorway that goes around the back. So it comes into this rear section. And a little hallway, which is going to create some avenues for forward momentum because you're going to want to defend that hallway. But it's also going to be another means of making your way into the enemy base. Now this needs to be actually like across the map to the enemy base. I mean, this needs to be angled so that it's actually like across from the door. Like that. And then we gotta angle this a little bit so that it doesn't mess up the texture over there, because although not too much because I can't let that raise up and then clip into things. It's a lot of these little seams and transitions that need to adjust, but this one actually can just come over as well. Sir, that. It's in a different part of the cave wall. I need to rotate it. And I only need to worry about what's up top. The that's right, that was sort of angled so that slope there would go into it nicely. You can definitely rotate it though. Let's maybe get there we go. Now this white area, the sort of blanching area of the ground is sort of lined up there. That sort of kind of goes into there. There we go. That might be perfect. Or as close to perfect as it can get. I just wish that they had like a ground that's just rocky, craggy ground. Because then I could have used that other kind of terrain. Unfortunately, you can't do this now. My hope would be that in the future they add a tool called a palette swap, where you can just change which one of your like the environment palette, you could change that on a map just by going into a menu in outside the map, hit flip it to a different value, and then it just becomes a you know what I mean, like you just have the ability to just click a thing. Hey Aaron, how's it going? What's up with you? You're doing that. I don't know what that emoji means. Let me see. Not like this. Oh, is it because I don't have music on? I'm so dumb. I need to turn on music. Or is it? Oh no, it's because of the news. What am I talking about? Duh. Obviously it's the news. Yeah, I was just talking about that earlier. I honestly don't think it's gonna be. It's not the end of Halo or the end of 343 or anything. What is this music and why did I put it in my playlist? It's a very simple copyright-free music. I don't know if I like it. Might skip that one. Yeah, this is another one. Why is it not on random? I put it on shuffle, but now it's just grabbing me all those. All right, here we go. I think I might take those out later. Wait, no, okay, so it's not about the news? I just thought, like, from 343. So 343 Industries, well, Microsoft laid off like 10,000 people, and of those 10,000 people, it was 60 people at 343 Industries. And Joseph Staten is officially finished his being on loan. Oh, come on. Oh, good. Okay, for a second I thought it froze. I'm going to save the map real quick. But yeah, I don't care about it. Yeah, so people are freaking out about it, and I'm like, guys, seriously, it's not going to be the end of the world. That's not the end of Halo in the slightest. It's not the end of 343 Industries. It's not the end of anything. Just overreacting. It's the end of a few people's jobs, and that's unfortunate. But it's not of like a few people, I guess. 60 people's jobs, which really sucks and is not cool of Microsoft to do. But it's not like the end of Halo, like everyone's trying to treat it. The music's loud. I hope I fixed it. Did I fix it? I think I might. Ooh, didn't lag again. Oh boy. What was that? That was really weird. I don't understand what's happening. Because, let's see, let me do a speed test real quick just to see if that's what's going on. I haven't had any internet problems since they fixed it, but let's see. So with Forge open and with this music and with the stream going, I'm at like 500 megabits per second on speedtest.com, which isn't too bad. And I've got 33, 34 upload, so that's not bad at all. I don't know what's going on with my why it's like freaking out. It's really weird. That is much better than it used to be. So whenever I say it's not bad, it's kind of an understatement to me. But let's see if this bowl shape works or if it's just going to clip into things that I don't want it to. If I put it there at the door, it's going way too far that way. It's probably going to clip if I try to rotate this way. It's going to start coming up inside the base and stuff. So this may not work. Maybe if I get deeper. No, that's just going to make it worse, I think. Yeah, scale it back in. Not really helping that much. So is the music still loud? I think I adjusted it well enough. I think it was that one song that was like significantly louder than the rest. Here we go. Dirt actually goes into the shape of the doorway a little bit, it looks like, on the original. Well, those bowls that I made might not be necessary, because this... I mean, the hills I made might not be necessary, because this little bowl, it does what it's supposed to... what those were supposed to do. And instead, I might just do this. Hopefully this doesn't cause clipping into the base. Okay, let's look like inside. Yeah, that's good. Yeah. This is 1-to-1, right? Yeah, no, this bowl. We need like a half bowl. Is there a half bowl? Like one that's just got like those, you know, those 3 sides and not this 4th one. Because I've frequently tried to use the bowl and then come to the conclusion that it doesn't work for what I'm trying to use it for. Like I could definitely use this piece, I think. But this one might just replace that hill that I had down there. You know? If I put this down here, it might just replace this hill. Which is fine, it might be a better option. Because it'll sort of go gradually, you know, all the way across. Whereas this one is like, it sort of just bulges up in the one spot. Oop, that's not what I meant to do. Okay. So if I go up to the door, like I had the other one, I could sort of make the terrain wrap around the door. Make it come back a little farther. So it clips into the wall a bit. And that'll create my hill shape pretty well. I just need to make sure I have the height correct. Because I might also have the back wall might be too far away, actually. I need to tighten up the area behind the base. Because right now it's looking way different. If I bring the hill down, it should be around like there, I think. Let me see. So the hill lines up with the top of the doorway. But the distance is so significantly different. Let's see. In this way. There we go. Okay, so that... yeah, this wall might be a little too far away. I might need to bring it in. Let's see, because this is like, geez, an entire. This feels like an entire like big team battle map arena all on its own. I don't think it's supposed to be like that. It's supposed to be a little tight passageway behind there. Look at that. It's as big as the base. And I definitely didn't do that right. Like this is it's supposed to be about half the size of the base. So I need to bring all these walls in. Just gonna select all that. That means that all of it going all the way up to the top, the arches and stuff like that, is a little off as well. Which is fine, because that'll be pretty easy to fix too. Not gonna select that prefab. I'm just gonna bring the rest in first. Let's see. Like half the size of that. But that ramp still needs to be there, correct? So that looks good. Okay. So that is closer to the correct, and then we gotta just fix everything else. These walls were never really in a final position anyway. As I went that way, I was like, I knew I was getting more and more inaccurate because I didn't even have the base yet whenever I put those walls up. But yeah, it's gonna be a lot easier. It's gonna be just as easy to fix that wall as it was to fix this wall just now. Okay, so let's bring this way down then. Now, let's see about Master Chief Collection. Let's walk back there and see what this area, how tight this area feels back in Master Chief Collection. Yeah, it's pretty tight. Yeah, this is supposed to feel that tight, as tight as it is over in the other one. So in Infinite. There we go. The doorway seems like it's not quite as wide. Oh, you know what? I added a slope here where this slopes up, like inward as it goes up. Apparently there's a sideways slope, and also I think I was planning on covering that up with a rock, and I ended up not doing that because the rock didn't need to be there. I need to bring that in on both sides, but also the actual columns feel too thin left to right, so that'll hide that too. But yeah, I'll fix that. I'll fix that later because it's part of a prefab. I don't want to break it out of the prefab right this second. Although if I don't fix it now, I may forget about it. So hopefully not. Okay. Okay, so that original hill is going to need to come back into play and bridge these two hills together. This. It's a good texture connection there. Create some continuity on the terrain. And this area is not going to look like this because I'm going to put some more stuff there, but let's check out what it looks like over there. So it's pretty much just a high area that wraps all the way around and comes sort of down into this like mound. Wouldn't call this a rock. It doesn't have the rock texture necessarily. It's got this sort of sandy texture. I guess that's just like a mound. I wonder if the idea is that the Marines who set up shop down here shoved the dirt away from this back door to sort of make, you know, make a way in and out on the back. And that mound is the result. Maybe they even had to dig it. Hey, Clint, how's it going? I was actually going to message you today because I was wondering if how you've been doing, because I've been out for so long. I know it's been forever. I wondered if you've gotten any, if you've gotten any progress on your thing, on your video and stuff like that. because I know I was not getting any progress, so can't judge you on it. But if you haven't, but yeah. Let's see. I need one of these. I've been out for so long too. Yeah, exactly. It's Christmas hit, and then I had a baby. I had well, my wife did, obviously. Wow, this actually kind of creates the mound. I didn't even realize that. Not artificially. I think I'll actually have to make a mound for real, but instead of doing that, it's unfortunate that I'm not going to be able to use that, because that's probably not right. But yeah. Anyway, yeah, so, yeah, I had a ton of stuff going that interrupted my ability to be on here. But since I'm not done yet, since I had a break, thank you. I see you said congratulations. Since I had a break, I'm not done with the map yet either, so no rush. You don't have to, like, you know, it's not the end of the world that you also got, you know, delayed and we're sort of out of the game for a little while. Because since I'm not done yet, I've still got plenty to do while I wait until you get your thing. So no rush. It all worked out. I like it when things just work out like that, you know? Let's see. Aaron's been making cool trees and stuff like that. Happy little trees. And some terrains, some environments, like sort of his own, what do you call it, canvases. So now we've got all these canvases to play with, and we can actually make you know, maps off that, which is pretty cool. I know, for real. I thought maybe someone would have figured it out but it looks like no, so I might have to do that video after all. Yeah, I mean, if you want to give it to me early, then I could have my map come out around the same time your video is done. You know, and I just won't show it off. I won't show off what the script, how the script works on my stream or in any of my videos. I'll keep it top secret for you until your video's done. If you do that. I just realized that the terrain definitely goes into the doorway a little bit, so I need to get a little bit of that, and I need to angle it so that it does it correctly. It goes like more like something like that. Well, actually, camera. Okay, I gotta go. I just wanted to say hello. Oh, okay. Sounds good. Catch you later. Let's see. I think that this is pretty much... Oh, not quite. I'm so glad, Aaron, that you insisted that I put music in, because that was, yeah, an obvious improvement that I should have thought of. Because having the music in the background for me is also better for focus. And like, I think I've been, I don't know if it showed in the streams, but I think I've been working faster since I turned on the music, which is, you know, not saying much because I'm pretty slow at this, but in my opinion. But like I saw, you know, watching what's his name? Gosh, Infinite Forges. Watching some other streamers like Infinite Forges, not just Infinite Forges. But yeah, I'm like, man, I'm pretty slow at this. I know it's like I'm doing texture at the same time and all that kind of stuff, so it's a very different workflow than theirs, than their style of forging. And so it looks slower is really what it is. But I guess I am kind of, aside from my break, getting pretty close to done pretty fast. But still, anyway, the point is the music helps even more than I, you know, helps me go way faster. Let's see. I'm trying to get this to be more of a gradual slope here, instead of that sort of collapse that it kind of was before. good. Not too far. Might need to make it a little bit longer. Then I can... Yeah, that'll get it like a little bit angle. Oop, not camera. There we go. This song used to infuriate me. Like whenever like it was my sister's favorite in ODST, but it used to infuriate me because of the piano being like, it changes when it hits that last note each time that it goes through, and I used to be so mad that I couldn't, like, that was so hard to predict. Like, it wasn't like impossible, it's just hard enough that it made me very frustrated. I just remember being like, oh man. But this was my sister Joanna's favorite theme back in the day. And I was like, how could you like this one? It's so bad. It's so annoying. It's so infuriating. I have wised up. It is definitely really good. I've learned the appeal of it. Actually kind of like the way that that's like wet mud sliding down. This is more like dry ground. Like it's like some kind of drip, and then like it comes down into these rocks. It's kind of cool. In the shadow, like once I turn off that obnoxious light, it'll look a lot better. I also, by the way, have been ignoring this giant gaping hole here and this horrible cliff because there's going to be there's a ramp that comes down this direction and ends around here, I believe. So the terrain looking kind of bad there, and then also this giant gaping hole is because of that. I also, this though, I think there is rock here or something. Let me see. I think that's part of the ramp. Actually wraps up and kind of goes around. Not like, no, it's supposed to come all the way down. I just didn't know where to end it, I guess, because of the terrain. And I never put the lights in yet. And they're very important because this area is going to be super dark without them. So, yeah. Kind of looks like Squidward's house from this angle. I don't know if you can see that lower right corner. But yeah, anyway. An Easter Island head. It looks like an Easter Island head from this angle. No, not an Easter Island head. No. What is his... what is this based on? I don't think it's an Easter Island head. It's a little different. Right? Okay, so these all like got way too big apparently. These slopes were great looking, the way I did this arch. But it definitely needs to be more immediate and significantly, like more quick to curve. And the slope needs to be smaller by a significant margin. Put a piano into your theme, and my sister Joanna will like it anyway. But she really liked that intro. I was like, I hate this, and she was like, why? What do you mean? It's like, because it's so annoying. She was like, no, it's not. It's great. What's wrong with you? It was a little bit like that. A little differently. But yeah. Let's see. Okay, actually, this side was... I need to pull that back up again, apparently, to re-study it. Here, let's see. To make sure my shape is correct. Actually, the way that kind of blends into there is correct, but we need to scale it. Which I had a scaled version next in the original version. There we go. It's kind of blended into there and there. I think this is the original scaled version, which is poking out the back. Yeah, it's huge. Okay. I think that one may be significantly larger than the other. Yeah, it is. So we're gonna go ahead and use it, even though I could just scale this one up. Doesn't matter. This one there. And it's way too sloped. And actually there's supposed to be apparently a bit of a divot inward here. Like it should be inward a little bit, so to speak. Especially like concerning like a little dip. And I didn't see that before. And then it sort of, let's see, go. Got a halo reach theme. Like a hero. I would say epic, ancient epic alien is an accurate, apt description of the original Halo themes, as you know, Marty was told to make. As he describes, he was asked to make it ancient, alien, epic. But Halo Reach is more like yeah, this needs to spread out a heck of a lot more. I didn't realize how much I had not spread it. Which means this piece down here will be a lot more concave once you spread this out more. But Halo Reach is like heroic. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't feel alien hardly at all, which is good because it's on, you know, a human world. Makes sense to not sound alien. And then, yeah, and they do a great job of that. He does a really good job with that. Okay, so now this is definitely too much now. We can just rotate it like this, which actually looks better anyway. And there. We've got a little bit of an alcove there, and then we've got our step up, so we definitely need to rebuild over here. But, is this the one that I just... Yeah, that's that one. Okay, so I need to get this one back out. And, probably this one. Bring it over here. That is the same piece that I was just rotating. Okay, so I need to put these in so that they kind of hide that. And make it this. And actually I need to see what my angle is, because now that I've got the wall completely different. Yeah, I need to come straight out the back. And I am not coming straight out the back there. Let's see. Needs to be like that way. So definitely, ooh, essentially messed my entire thing. Let's see. There we go. To meld into that central column. It's coming out of it. I need to come out of that. Need to go this way. There we go. I believe that is a separate piece. Yes. And what I wanted to do is actually be here to create that stepping effect that we had before, that we had gone to so much trouble to build before, where it was like a higher area and then a lower area and then a higher area. Yeah, like that. So it kind of steps down, and over here it has this sort of alcove kind of effect to it, which is right. And then this needs to come out and sort of meld into that. There we go. Okay. So. Okay, yeah, so I definitely went way too far out to the side on this top one because I was thinking in terms of a different angle. I thought I had the right angle and I didn't. Just going off of that. This is the correct angle, which means that this one, which means that this is about, yeah, that's what I got there. There we go. Now it'll go into the roof properly. Although I do think that I need to tilt this, let it come out a bit into the roof, because that would be more realistic. They have that, but only to a slight degree compared to like it'd be more realistic to have more of a curve, but I'm not sure. Not a cave expert. Okay, I think we're good there. They were finally good. Okay. It's a little... Okay, cool. That's not a hole all the way through. There we go. Let's look up at it, and yeah, this is looking like Waterworks. We're doing great. Let's see. Okay. So this needs to be brought over and melted into that. Sort of smooth it out. This needs to be rotated. Brought out. This. Actually, that's perfect right there. Okay. And then I need to readjust all these. Make these seams more smooth, transitional, areas. There we go. So that one was a good spot there. Okay, so now we've got this side. Wrap around, we need to merge it into that, that means this entire part that I have copied from the other side is going to be very wrong. And I need to adjust it because it needs to wrap around the base correctly. It needs to do everything, all the angles and all that need to be correct. So we're getting close though. He's so close. Like, actually, if I finish this roof, I can copy. And I'm gonna have to delete a lot of stuff that's in the way over here when I copy. But the dark side... How close am I to completion? Am I getting like 90% complete now? Is that what we're looking at today? I think they might be looking at 90% complete, just about. Did they have animated, what do you call it? Animated, thumbnails on YouTube at some point, or am I crazy? Is it just that it auto-played? And that's what I'm thinking of. Whenever it very first started auto-playing, I thought it was an animated thumbnail. That might be what I'm thinking of. Yeah. That's probably what I'm thinking of. Be really cool. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. I hit undo by accident, and that messed up my rotation of this object. It would be pretty cool to be able to make upload a GIF and or GIF that that was your thumbnail, so that you could like make it animate a little bit, but only a specific part that you wanted to animate, you know? And then you could, like I could make a clip of flying through this level a little bit and turn it into a GIF and or GIF, and then and make that the thumbnail. And I could do that with each one of them to show the progress, which I think would be really cool. I should start every episode with flying through. I think I did last time. But if I do that, if I start every single video with flying through the map, then that would mean the preview. Whenever someone hovers over the video or whatever and it previews, they would see the progress on the map so far, and they could decide if they could recognize if they've seen the episode or not. A little easier, you know. Might be a good idea for the future. This is a huge piece, and it was huge so they could meld into the pieces to the left and right of it, because it was having so many troubles with was having tons of trouble with the you know, what do you call it, the old wall that was over there, and so I ended up having to do that. Okay, so I don't have anything in the middle because that last one punched a hole in it. Let me go ahead and duplicate this one. The old the column in the middle punched a hole in it. The column is actually the wall here, so we kind of just need to do something like this. Need to sort of transition out of the stalagmite there. Let's see. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Flip it over. Get sort of this angle. I still feel like I've only just come back. I'm like, from, you know, hiatus. And I was just wondering, Aaron, how have you been? If you're still around. Because, it's just, I know I did ask. But, you know, I'm like, I still feel like I've just come back. Let's see. It's more of a feeling on my end than an actual, than a reality. But yeah. Okay, so that transitions pretty nicely into there. Maybe it's to be more of a slope. And go all the way into it. Yeah, this might need to go a little lower. A very tight slope like this. There we go, and line up with it there, it will make it feel more like a natural shape. Okay, there we go. I think that's looking a little bit better. Well, actually, very picky about my shapes looking more natural. I feel like I'm picky. Liked that shape there. Kind of feels like a piece of rock fell away from there at some point. This piece might be a little bit, need to be a little more gradual to come into the roof a little better. I started really late today, so that's why I'm kind of sticking around a little longer than... well, I'm probably going to stick around a little longer than I normally do. Because, my kids aren't awake yet. And, actually, I think I hear one of them running around, but they don't appear to be... They're not asking for food yet. Which means they probably ran to the cabinet. It's probably my older daughter, and she's probably ran to the cabinet, the pantry, and grabbed herself a snack right away, which she likes to do. So, let's see. Okay. So that looks pretty good. It looks like a toy until I'm down here, in which case it looks like an actual cave. Or feels like a toy to me, like my mind is like at that scale right now. Because of forging, I guess, and flying around and having good camera angles, but you'll actually be down here pretty much the entire time and fighting other people. Which, I need to make that flag. I'm going to make that flag soon. And figure out how to do it. You know how to make a good cloth, Aaron? I've been mulling over it in my head and wondering if, like can you take... So, like, if I go into... I guess accents. I think it's what do you call it? UNSC, or something to that effect. I'm talking about the there's that. Okay, they have the cables. Ceiling conduit. No. They have like the cables. Concrete block. They really do need a search function. I forget who was talking about that. Vent up, vent pipe. Actually, if I could change this texture to something that looks more... That actually wouldn't be bad at all. It's crumpled vent panel. This would actually work perfectly. Can I change the textures on this? Like everything else? Sure can. Oh, it's gonna always have the lines in it? Is that the case? Yeah, that's part of its own bump mapping. Well, that may not work then. Well, that redid the bump mapping. Okay, where's cloth? Let's see, metal. Let's see. A lot of these are not getting rid of those lines, but some of them appear to be. Let's see. Brick. Okay, so they're not actually getting rid of the line, they're just layering over it, and it looks fine with some of them. Let's see. Do they have a emissive foil insulation? Oh, that's cool. Fabric, linen, rough. Okay, and then we go... Oh, it's with this mottled kind of effect. I think that's the color spread, or am I wrong? Or is that about the grime? Yeah, that's definitely weird. Yeah, it's color spread. There we go. Okay, roughness. I definitely don't want this to be shiny. This cloth. Oh, let's just do horse off. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. This may not work. Oh, I'm gonna try it. There might be a different red to use. This might be a better red for this particular piece. Oh, you know what? Let's go to color intensity, go to 0. Yeah. Do you want to let you watch Baymax? I think it is your turn to pick. So you might want to... So go tell her that I said to let you watch. Okay? Yeah, maybe the texture's all wrong on this. I was hoping that that if I, you know, change the color, maybe got the texture to go away, then I could use the sort of bent effect. I need to turn that off. The sort of effect that's all like kind of dented up to look like the cloth. There might actually be a real cloth that would work even better. I really like the shape of it with that there, but it doesn't like animate or anything. So maybe just having like a straight panel would be even better than this technically. I might leave it there just for fun until later. I know I've requested and there was a response to it even that was pretty positive. It was pretty promising. I mean, I requested the holographic like level pieces that they have in some of the official maps where they've got the cobra or the eagle on it. It definitely makes it feel more like a Waterworks base. So I'm glad I put that there, even if it is just like a sort of a garbage temporary solution. May not be the one I use because that ridged look. I don't know if it looks good. It doesn't look bad. I don't know if it looks good. It's because it's right under a light. It's very like the shadows of it are very harsh. So let's see. Okay, so we need this to go around here and into that wall. So I think that what I need to do is ungroup this and deselect all of these pieces, and then regroup the rest. Every one of these. Probably this row too. There we go. Regroup all those, and then I can deselect all and reselect all of this stuff. Maybe put it into I didn't remove those from it. Oh well. Let's sort of rotate it a bit. By rotating this a little bit at the beginning, should make it fairly simple to adjust the rest of it. I put pieces inside of one another. I don't think that they're going to be very easy to get back out of one another. Okay, there we go. I think that's all of them. If I miss one, it'll be real obvious real fast. Okay, so I think that what I'm going to do is delete that column of them. That entire segment. Uh-oh. Did I move the wrong piece? I sure did. If I undo this, it's probably going to break everything. So I'll deselect that one. Let's just deselect all and delete this column except for that top piece that I accidentally selected. Put it back into position. And pretend like nothing happened. There we go. This goes here, I think. See, got this piece here, which might or might not be necessary. Got this piece here, which might or might not be necessary. And I've got this column here. Need to put this into position. And and then I can start tweaking its position. Yep, okay, so start from the bottom. Because otherwise, how else will we know we're here? Put that in, rotate it. Should keep its shape, but if not, that's fine. We can adjust it. Ooh. One piece. That was very rough. I moved one piece and it had a lag like I was moving an entire prefab. Okay, I don't know what's going on with my network because it should be very fast and good to go. So it might be the Halo Infinite servers that are actually having issue this time. This is all probably from the cell phone game Spartan Assault or Spartan. What's the other one? Spartan. I don't remember. Spartan Assault and Spartan. Let's see. What is this song from? Well, this one is from Spartan Assault, so I guess I won't know. It won't remind me of what the other one's called. Oh well. I forget what the other one's called. Okay. Let's see. Okay, so that looks better. Well, yeah, my son is awake. That's your sister's school computer. Yeah, it's a mousey. It's a picture of a mousey. That's another picture of a mousey. Oh, it's holding cheese. I see what you're asking. It's holding cheese. If you go into the kitchen, I'm gonna bring you something. I'm gonna get you something to eat pretty soon, okay? Are you in here because you're hungry? I'm gonna finish up what I'm doing and I'm gonna get you something to eat, okay? There's a slope downward there. Yeah, a little bit of one. It's like high right there. High right here. And then it sort of slopes back down into the back. Okay. Hey. Not quite yet. I'm about to end it and go feed Liam. Because he is asking for food right now. Let's see. Here we go. So close to being done with the terrain here. Just a tiny bit longer. Perfect. Okay. We have enough terrain to drive a warthog around. Let's place one. Let's see. Like for real. Okay, gameplay. Vehicles. Maybe we should do a mongoose, but let's do a warthog. Almost just jumped off through the abyss. Okay. Here we go. So we've got this area. Around the bridge, coming back toward the base. Got this. Got a giant hole in the base there, but that's okay. Got our full terrain. Go up here. I don't know if this little ledge is too big, because now you can fit a warthog up there very nicely. And maybe I made that a little too thick by not putting the wall close enough. I actually love this sort of hang time control in Infinite. I think that was a great addition to the Warthog, because it's not super realistic to be able to, like, you know, adjust your joystick while you're in the air and adjust the angle that you're flying through the air at. But it's really, like, way more fun than just being completely without control. And I think that the like in racing games, it's just like, you know, you can just do that. And it makes sense that, you know, from an arcade kind of style gameplay mentality, but with Halo's almost simulation style of design in the past, it kind of makes it like, well, maybe it's a little weird to have this unrealistic effect, right? But to me, I mean, we got sci-fi vehicles. If racing games can do it, then these guys can do it. I mean, humans have artificial gravity generators. We just don't have hovering vehicles. You know, the ships create artificial gravity on their decks. But then we don't have. But yet we don't have like something like a Ghost that flies using that sort of you know, artificial gravity. So what I'm thinking is, what I've always thought was how strange it was that they didn't. And I was thinking whenever ODST came out and you could flip a tank, my immediate thought was, well, maybe the tank has artificial gravity generators in it. The humans have, but they can't lift an entire vehicle. They just use too much power. But they can use it briefly, you know, sparingly, to right the vehicle, especially whenever it flips upside down. But in this case, to right the vehicle whenever you I think this Warthog basically has something in it that allows me to twitch and like adjust the angle, the pitch and yaw of the Warthog midair to sort of help it land in a way that won't damage the vehicle. You know? That's my thinking. I've always kind of considered it that way. But anyway, yep. My son has woken up. Kids are awake. They need to eat. And, yeah. I will, have to go. So, I'll catch you guys later. Yeah. Hopefully hopefully I can get done soon. I'm almost done with this, and then I can move on to another map, or the updated version of this map that I want to make. And that'll be exciting. Anyway. Yeah, okay, so I think that that we're done for the day, and I'm gonna upload this tomorrow at 1. Alright, catch you later.